to mute myself. All right.
Welcome to the Monday Motivation with Eric and Friends podcast with your host, Eric F. King, featuring world-class speakers, coaches, and consultants. Join us every Monday as we dive into empowering conversations that motivate, inspire, and educate entrepreneurs. Kickstart your week with valuable insights that help you not just survive, but thrive. This is your go-to podcast to start your week strong and live your best life. Let's make Mondays the fuel for your success journey.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Eric F. King, and I am so super excited to be here with you this morning. And I have some world-class speakers as well. So welcome. We meet here every single Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern time to share value with you. And today we have an incredible topic. So if you jumped on and you weren't sure if you're going to stay, well, stay. Stay for an hour. If you made up your mind that you didn't want to stay the whole hour, change your mind. You want to stay for this one. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Today I have Leah Garcia, Annie Usong, Zion Energuru, some of the best speakers and coaches in the world today. All right. And we're going to jump right into it. Our topic for today is small habits that will change your life forever. Small habits that will change your life forever. And I just want to start with this. You know, a lot of people think that success comes with some kind of quantum leap, right? People say, well, he's an overnight success. She's an overnight success. There's no such thing, folks. There's no such thing. If you want to work out and you want to be big and buff and muscular, you can't show up one time. You have to come over and over and over and keep showing up. And be like, you're obsessed with this. Well, that's why he looks the way he is, because he's obsessed with it, right? So we're going to jump into it. And I always like to start with mindset. So you have to have the mindset that what you do today impacts your life tomorrow. Okay. What you do on a daily basis impacts your life going forward, right? So that's how you have to think to be able to succeed at anything, whether it's your finances, whether it's your business, whether it's your relationships, whatever it is, you have to cultivate it day in and day out. So before I jump into what I want to say, I want to bring on some of my experts. All right, we'll get started. And for all of you watching on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, definitely put your comments. Show us we want to see your comments. We want some questions too, right? Because we can give you the information we know, in our heads, but it's better if you ask questions and we can address your specific concerns. All right. So our first speaker hails from California. All right. She is, where it's like 4 a.m. in the morning. That's how serious she is about giving you value. All right. She is a black belt in karate. So, she's someone that's disciplined, and she believes in habits, right? Because if you don't have a habit, you cannot be a black belt. Trust me, you got to do things over and over and over. Right. She is our financial coach, right? Our financial expert. If you are looking for a financial expert, go no further than Leah Garcia. She's one of the best in the world. That's why she's here today. She helps you make money, save money, invest money, everything you need to know. All right. So without further ado, we are going to go to California to Miss Leah Garcia. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Eric F. King of Collaboration. And absolutely, it's about those small habits that over time have significant results. We call that Kaizen in martial arts. And my name is Leah Garcia, and it is my mission to help you properly protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth so you can build a legacy and create generational and multi-generational wealth. Well, I'm going to give you 3 quick tips that if you implement these will absolutely change your financial future. So the first one is a rule that Albert Einstein referred to as the eighth wonder of the world. He believed that it was so important that he called it a wonder of the world. It's called the power of compound interest. And the power of compound interest will become the power of compound pounding. It's called pay yourself first. And I talk about this in the Wall of Wealth. Some people refer to it as an emergency fund. It is so important that you start to pay yourself first. You might start with paying yourself first to 5% of your income, and then you can increase it to 10%, and then maybe even 20% or more of your income. Getting financial independent is not about doing it one time, like Eric alluded to. It's about over time that will have that compound pounding and have that significant results. Because the best way to help the poor is to not be one yourself, right? It's not about get rich quick, but it's about get wealthy over time. The second one, number 2, is become a phenomenal receiver. I know a lot of people who want to save the world. They want to go out and they want to be great givers and they want to be so generous. But we also have to be a good receiver. That is called completing the circle. Because think about it this way, when we sit on the airplane, what do they say? They drop the oxygen mask and they say, put the oxygen mask on yourself first. And at the same time, if you are not a good receiver, think about it this way. If you give a gift and that person rejected your gift, how would you feel? You're robbing that person of the blessing. So become a phenomenal receiver. And at the same time, that's when you can give out of abundance. And number 3, and this is one that people don't like to talk about. Some people refer to it as a budget. I call it a spending plan. You have to create a spending plan. Think about your finances, your household as a business. We have to have a spending plan. I don't like the word budget because that's punitive. It feels like punishment. It feels like judgment. And we're going to shy away from that. Nobody's going to go to the gym if we feel like we're being punished every day. Nobody's going to stick to a budget if we feel like, it's something that it's being done to us. So creating that spending plan means that you're going to take in money and then you're going to spend in money. I just don't believe in things like, eat peanut butter and jelly every day, burn your furniture, sell your kids, get rid of your car. Like, no, who's going to do that? Nobody's going to really do that, right? But if we understand that we're going to turn towards our money, we're going to spend our money. It's up to you if you decide that you're going to have that Starbucks every day. But if I show you how, if you have that Starbucks every day and you exchange it, right? You exchange it for a saving and investment plan that over a year will have dramatic results. Because Dr. Benjamin Hardy says, what you track expands and what you track and report expands exponentially. That's why you need a financial coach. Folks, getting financially independent is not a DIY project. It's not something, you're not going to surprise yourself to success. Okay. It doesn't just happen. It's about those habits, rituals, and routines that over time have tremendous results and compound pounding. And that's what I talk about in the Wall of Wealth. Listen, the Wall of Wealth is about some basic financial rules that you must adhere to, because there's booby traps down the road that if we are not planned for them, we will not keep our wealth. Because it's not how much money we make, it's how much money we keep that matters most. So that's my time, and I hand it back to you, Mr. Eric F. King of Collaboration. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. That was incredible. We always learn so much from you. And by the way, if there's anybody listening to this right now, you want to grab her ebook, okay? I learned so much from it. Leah, if you can put it in the chat, a way for them to be able to grab that ebook so they can learn more about the strategies you use. All right, so we appreciate you. We see you, Coral. Good to see you from across the pond. I know people are hopping on from all over the world here. So if you could just put a comment in the chat, whether it's on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, so we know you're here and we can shout you out. All right. So I just want to share a few things about this topic that I think can help people. Actually, I don't think, I know can help you because it's helped me and it's helped a lot of people. All right. I read a book once called The Slight Edge. Okay, The Slight Edge by a guy named Jeff Olson. And in The Slight Edge, he talks about how most people, they're always looking for that quantum leap, that one thing that's going to make them successful, right? And they never find it. They go their whole life and they never find it. But what they don't know is the compounding of what you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, that changes your life, right? And that's why I talk about today. Change your life forever. It changes your life, and it changes generations to come, changes their lives, right? The habits I have that my sons see creates habits in them that's going to impact their life and the life of their children, right? So what you do impacts so many more people than you think, right? So you have to realize that it's what you do on a daily basis. Some people say, well, Eric, I have some long-term goals, 5-year goals. And I say, great. So let's start with this. What's your daily goal? What are you going to do today? And they're like, well, I don't have a goal for like today. Well, then your 5-year goal won't work, right? It won't work. You have to have daily goals, right? Every night before I go to bed, I write down all the things that I have to do the next day, right? All the things that I have to do the next day. So the next day, I don't just show up and say, okay, let's see what happens. No, I create what happens, right? So that's one thing that I'd advise everybody to do, all right? I teach sales, right? And in sales you have to practice on a regular basis, right? You have to practice, you have to meet people, and you have to share your offer. You have to do it over and over and over. People say, well, Eric, why do you release videos every day? Because I want to create momentum, right? If you see me one time and you don't see me for the next 2 months, you won't even know if I'm serious. But if you see me over and over and over and over and over, like, this guy's serious. He's serious about helping people, right? So that's important, to do things on a regular basis. Another thing I'll mention is personal development, right? I was introduced to personal development in my 20s, and I thank God I was, because I used to be one of those people that blamed everybody for my circumstances, right? And if not for the government, if not for the president, I would have this. If like I would blame everybody under the sun. I took no responsibility. I didn't believe in that. It was everybody else's fault. But then I started reading books, and I started, listening to people like Jim Rohn and Les Brown and people like that, and they changed my thinking, right? But then I never stopped. I still listen to podcasts. I read books, right? So because of that, I get better and better and better. Think about this. If you become 1% better every day, by the end of the year, you are 365% better, right? Because you did it every day, right? So whatever you do, realize that it takes time for you to become successful at it, because you have to do it over and over. All right. Also, another thing I do, which can really help you, is anytime I go to an event like a mastermind, right, or a seminar, a webinar, I take notes, but more importantly, I circle one or two things that I'm going to do right away. That's more important than taking 7 pages of notes. Trust me, because those 7 pages of notes, they just go on your desk. But when you circle, I'm doing this, and you start today, that will build up to the success that you want. All right. So that's what I want to share with you concerning this topic. And I hope that resonates with you. We're going to get to questions soon. So definitely put your questions in the chat. In the meantime, I'm going to go to our next speaker, who hails from Europe. Okay. So we went from California. We're going all the way to the UK now. And he is a marketing genius. He helped me tremendously to build my business fast on LinkedIn. In fact, I remember the first audio room I did with him. I got a high paying client the first day. And I said, wow, this is amazing, right? So he, and then I paid him for, for his services for, other things that I did. So I want to introduce you to him. He helps make people famous. He helps you in all sorts of marketing. I won't steal his thunder, so he can talk more about what he does. But without further ado, Mr. Any Awesome, the floor is yours.
I
You are
thank
muted.
you. I thank you, my friend. No, Leah, so James there, as always, my friend. Thank you so much. Eric, you are the legend, my friend. You are the legend. You really are. So, you've opened my eyes to the power of sales. I think our conversation today, is about habits. It's something that is fundamental because for me, looking at learning how to do sales properly from you was a habit I had to change. So many of us in business assume we know how to sell. We just assume we know sales, right? And then one day dawns on you that you're missing customers, you're losing customers. So and that's why I went and I learned a lot from your program, and I put my whole team through your program as well because we all have to learn things. Now, let's talk about habits. I know my time is short, right? Look, my friends, the word habits probably one of the most fundamental lessons we need to learn in life. One of the most important things I've learned, in the last few years that's really moved me forward. Now, as Eric is saying, you can't take, you can't, quantum leap, yourself. I don't know. I think you can. Maybe okay. I agree, Eric. You can compound leap yourself and your business, right? By doing these changes to your habits. And once people understand the power of habits, your life will truly change. I'm still working on mine every day. And this is something that's truly, truly fundamental to everything I do. Let me start with saying, what's a habit? Let's start there, right? A habit is simply a fixed way that we think about the world. It's what we believe, right? And what we believe is what influences our behavior. And then our behavior is what influences our results. I've read the books, my friend, and I practice this every day. You have to truly understand, right? We can't expect different results if we keep doing the same thing. I mean, in marketing, what don't we do? That's based on habits. Everything we do is based on our habits until we learn otherwise, right? Until we learn that gap you mentioned, Eric. If you make notes, if you say I'm going to do this, you actually do it. But that takes a fundamental change of who we are. It really does. Change your mind means literally change your mind. Have a different mind to the one you had before. That's the only way you're going to change anything you're going to do, my friends. If it's working for you, stick to it. Go with it. If it's a good habit, right? Go with it. The problem is that for many people, for me especially, many things were just not working for me. And that's what that saying is lunacy to keep doing the same thing and expect different results. It's crazy, right? It doesn't happen. We must change our habits. If it's not working, if it's not working for us, we must change. But I'm trying to get you to understand it's a deeper thing. We have to change what we believe. So one of my habits, when I posting on social media, for example, my friends, we all do it, right? What good is it to us? Yeah, it's mildly okay, mildly, right? I'm saying it's better than doing nothing. Your customers are not gonna rush to you all through your social media posts. That's a habit that we have, right? Change it. If it's not working, change it. Now, what can you do differently? Now, realize that posts are not the answer because there's fundamental mistakes in how the algorithms work. Realize you must do something else. You must be more proactive. Show up, events. That's why we do this live stream, right? Because when people are going to hear you, see you, build a relationship with you, they know who you are. You fast track yourself in business. Full stop, right? That's why I do audio events. If you write a book, I'm saying that's a whole different conversation. Don't keep doing the same marketing things, expecting different results. It doesn't happen. It never has, and never will do, right? What sort of things hold us back, in terms of habits? Eric, you mentioned a good one, blame. The days I used to blame everyone for everything. The weather is my customer's fault. It's always my customer's fault, always, all right? They can't afford it. Day of the week, hell, time of day, sometimes it's all wrong, right? When we take responsibility, we actually change things. Otherwise, nothing changes. I said another one I learned a lot about is self-confidence. Many of us live our days based on fear. I wouldn't do that. So I won't do something new because I'm scared. But we don't tell ourselves that. We'll say, "Ah, I don't want to do that." What you're really saying is, why don't you want to do it? Why do you keep doing the same thing? Why don't you do something new? Right? Don't let fear guide your life. Otherwise, literally, you're going nowhere, right? And that's the last one I will mention is knowing and doing gap. You mentioned, Eric. If you know something is not working, change it. If you know something new that you could try it. That's changing habits, right? Let me leave it there for now, Eric. This is such a fundamental topic for everyone to learn from.
Yes. Yes. We appreciate you, Annie. Thank you so much. We always learn. We always learn from you
Oh,
anytime you speak. So we appreciate you.
thank you.
All right. So we are going now from UK all the way to West Africa. We're going to Nigeria to hear from a man that is known all over the world for his positivity in a world of negativity. I'm sure everybody would agree that we live in a negative world. And if you don't agree, put on the news and you'll find out within 2 seconds. 2 seconds. People say, well, Eric, why don't you watch TV? Why? What's there to watch? You don't even watch the news. How do you know what's going on? Trust me, bad news, it flows fast. You'll find out what's going on, even if you don't watch the news. Anyway, I digress. So this is a gentleman who I have hired. I know a lot of people are working with him all around the world to help them become more positive, to help them see possibility when things are not going the right way. So, and the ladies say he has a sexy voice. So the ladies, if that's another reason to listen to the guy. Right. I don't hear it, but they say he does. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's a little jealousy there. I don't know. Right. But anyway, without further ado, we're going all the way to Nigeria to Mr. Zion Enegru. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. It's such a privilege to be here again on another Monday Motivation. And yes, to my amazing world-class speakers on stage with me, Leah Gasha and Mr. Eni, the godfather of LinkedIn audio event. I want to say a very big thank you to you all for making today possible. And then to the superstars at home, listening to us from all over the world, I want to say a very big thank you for being with us today. Now, when we talk about habits, it's something that is very, very important in our personal life and also our professional life. Habits are the little things you do every day consistently, continuously, that becomes a part of you. So I'm going to be sharing with us some of the few habits that have transformed my life for good, that are still transforming my life every day. And one of that is the habit of appreciation. Now, I cannot stress this enough. Appreciation is something that is very, very important in our lives. For me, I'm embracing gratitude today because I've consistently embraced the habit of appreciation. Now, appreciation starts with you. When I wake up in the morning to see a new day, I'm grateful for that. I appreciate that. Wow, it's good to see this day. To be able to stand up from my bed, take my shower, eat my food, walk out of the house, I tend to be appreciative for it. Then the ability to meet people every day, to talk to people, to shake hands with people, to reach out to people, I'm always appreciative for it. When you see somebody on the way that says good morning, thank you. As simple as that. When somebody opens the door for you and you walk in, appreciate them. When somebody say nice words to you, appreciate them. By consistently doing this, I tell you, you are on a journey of gratitude. By consistently appreciating people for who they are, for their kind words, for their character, for being your friend or for crossing paths at all. Appreciating people is key. Now, these are things that people take for granted. If you want to continually to embrace a life of gratitude, start small. Everyday appreciation for your life, appreciation for your family, appreciation for your friends, appreciation for your colleagues, appreciation for work. For being able to go to work, even though the work is stressful, even though you don't like the work, but for the fact you have a job that you are doing, And at the end of the day, you get paid. Be appreciative for it. And I tell you, when you consistently do this, or generally your life become a life of gratitude. You become to appreciate every little things that happens in your life. You see that when negative things happen, you are still appreciative for it. Why? Because it is because you are alive. That's why those negative things happen to you. So when you gradually develop this habit of appreciation, I tell you, you are on the journey of embracing a life of intentional gratitude. And secondly, one habit that has really transformed my life is the habit to smile. It's the habit to smile. Now, I cannot tell you how much and how powerful this is. Do you know that because I smile, I hardly have anxiety? Because I smile, I hardly get scared. Because I smile, I hardly lose words. I always have words to say. I might not have it at that moment, but give me that few seconds of smiling, my mind have thought about many things to say. So when you practice an habit of smiling, I tell you, it affects you physically and psychologically. And because I've been able to develop an attitude to smile, now I become more approachable to many persons. People want to reach out to me, people want to get to me. The truth is, sometimes they are not even listening to what I'm saying. What they are seeing is my smile. And that's it. And before you know it, Azai, I want to talk to you. There's something I'm working on. I think you can be a good fit for this without having a power conversation. So if you are listening to me right now, be intentional to develop the habit of smiling. It doesn't take much to smile. I tell you, I don't used to smile before. I used to be this very grumpy kind of person. I used to be very quiet. But I tell you, when I began to smile, it became a journey for me, and I'm enjoying it. I can literally smile for 24 hours without getting tired. And they were like, "Is this your trademark?" Like, yeah, this is my trademark. If you see me for the first time, the first thing you are seeing is my smile. If you're not seeing my smile, you have not seen me. So it's because over time I've consistently learned how to smile. Then it became a part of me, and I can literally smile without stress. Then another habit I want to share with us is the habit of timing. Is the habit of timing, keeping to time. This is something that most professionals do not get acquainted to. Now, timing starts with you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a professional setting. It can be, okay, every day I need to wake up by 6 a.m. in the morning. How disciplined are you? Do everything possible, set your alarm, write a note down, to keep to time. Peradventure, you are going somewhere, you are going to meet somebody, and you know that you will be few minutes late. Put a call across to the person and say, well, I think I will be 5 minutes late, I will be 10 minutes late, to let people know ahead. Timing is very key. Timing is very, very important. Timing puts you in a place where people can trust you. It shows how responsible you are. It shows how intentional you are about your life. So if there's one habit I want to encourage us to do today, is to keep to time. Keep to time. If an event is it's by 1 p.m., by 12:30, 12:45, or 12:50, avail yourself, because when you keep to time before an event, it helps you to relax. It helps you to observe. It helps you to survey the environment. It helps you to think, oh, what can I do? How can I help? But when you're rushing to a place, you are trying to put yourself together. You don't even know what to say. Sometimes you might be sweating. The anxiety comes. You might be scared. But by the time you are on time, you don't have to be scared. In fact, you're even welcoming people to the event. Shaking people, reaching out to people, talking to people. So timing is key. And lastly, practicing the habit of affirmation. I tell you, and Mr. Positive Energy today is not necessarily because I read it in book. It's because every day I tell myself that I'm the most positive person on earth. And do you know, my words literally shaped my mindset, and my mindset shaped my action. Because of this is what I tell myself every day. I'm the most positive person on earth. When I wake up in the morning, I tell myself. In the new day when I'm working, I tell myself. In the evening before I go to bed, I tell myself. And I tell you, it became a consciousness. You don't have to remind me that I'm Mr. Positive Energy. I know. So affirmation is key. Is key. Where you want to be tomorrow, start saying it now. You want to become the president, you want to become the CEO of your organization, you want to have $1 billion, no big deal. Start saying it. Your words has the power to shape your life. And the ability for you to affirm yourself in your word will affirm your life for good. So thank you so much for listening. That's my take today. I yield the mic over to you, Mr. Eric.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. That was a TED Talk, y'all. we have people here from all over the world listening in. But if nobody showed up, I would show up just to hear that. I mean, that would keep me going for the next week, right? I would show up to hear Zion. So thank you so much, Zion. Thank you so much. I appreciate what you talked and what you said about appreciation. And speaking of appreciation, happy Memorial Day, everybody, for all of you in the United States, everybody in the military. If you have a family member in the military, if you've ever been in the military, if you support people in the military, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your service. If you're in the military here in the United States, we appreciate you because it's because of you that we have these freedoms, that we can do all of this. Some people can't do all of what we do, right? So we appreciate all the people here that's watching or will be watching that is affiliated with our military. All right, appreciate that. Talking about appreciation, let me just call some people out here, or shout them out rather, because I know because of the platform I'm on, I can't see anybody on Instagram. So I apologize if I don't see you and I can't I can't say anything about you, but I appreciate all of you on Instagram. All right. So, but I do see the people on YouTube that have mentioned something in the chat. So, welcome, Lisa. Lisa, welcome, Frederick. Coral, welcome. Hawa, welcome. Stanley, good to see you. Francis from where is Francis again? Remind me where you're from. Switzerland, I think. I believe it's Switzerland. Welcome. Latoya, welcome. Genevieve from the Caribbean, welcome. Kendrick, welcome. Selassie, welcome. Christina, welcome. Philemon, welcome. I mean, people from all over the world. I can't even get to everybody, but we appreciate all of you being here and coming back every week. And that's why we keep doing this. We keep doing this for you to give you value, right? Look, before this whole social media thing, I used to spend like hundreds of dollars to go to seminars to learn from one person. One person. Here, you get to hear from multiple people every week. This is incredible, folks. You have no idea. You have no idea, what you're getting here, right? All right, so let's get to the questions, folks. Let's get to the questions. Our first question comes from our good friend Coral in the UK. By the way, Coral was here in America last weekend with us. So round of applause for her. She traveled all the way from London to come to DC. We had a great time. We had, there was a cruise, there was a gala night, there was a mastermind. If you want to see pictures, hop on to my LinkedIn or Instagram, Eric F. King, and you'll see pictures and videos. All right. So the question is, can you share a personal story of how a minor habit change led to a major life improvement? All right, that's a great question. Does anybody in the panel want to jump in? Go ahead, Annie.
I think business is all about these habits, really. Everything I said earlier is because it's from personal experience, right? So there was up until recently, I was doing audio rooms free of charge. And then my coach kept asking me, why are you doing it free of charge? And simply my answer was, because I want to get good at it first. And then I might start charging. When I get good, when I can prove the results I promise my clients, and then she's like, that's just silly. So Eric obviously, was a perfect example. She's like, look at Eric. He did an audio room first when he gets 2 clients. So does that mean that you're better than you were before? I'm like, that's interesting, isn't it? She said, just do what you do, but charge them something. Charge them something for your time. My friends, that's why I started charging. Then I realized it's not about charging; it's about valuing my time. I wasn't confident enough to charge for my time. The day I started doing that, my friends, my revenue has gone through the roof. Just by charging something for what I do all the time. My audio rooms are now pretty much a third of my revenue every month, and we're talking three digits, really. Call it 4 digits. If you want to call it that. Literally, a small change, huge difference. That's the power of
Awesome.
habits, my friend.
Awesome. That's a great example that we can all relate to. I do a training called How to Turn Your $150 Offer to a $3,000 offer. And people come on this training and say, wow, I didn't know I could charge more. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. How are you going to go full time selling something for 150 bucks? It's not going to happen. Don't deceive yourself. You know what I mean? Anyway, I will go on that one. All right. Anybody else want to share?
Yeah,
Leah,
I'll share.
go ahead.
Just a few short months ago, I didn't even have any kind of video. I didn't want to be on video. Eric kept telling me, you need to make some videos. And my first video, it was literally, and I still have it on my YouTube channel. I said, hi, my name is Leah Garcia and I sell insurance. I mean, it was literally that, you guys. But the reason I have it there and the reason I share that with you is that that was just a few months ago. That wasn't 20 years ago. But what happened is the power of one. I don't want to commit to doing this for a year or a month or a week, but I told myself I could do it one time. That's the power of one more. My mentor talks about that. You can do anything one time. And if you can do it one time, you just focus on the very next time that you do it, the power of one more. And that's when it becomes a compound pounding. I can't even recognize myself. Okay, that not that I'm so great on video, but what I'm saying is that this is something that I never intended to do, and it felt too much. It felt too uncomfortable. But one thing I understand, if it's something that I'm resisting, it's probably the thing that I need to do. So I'll hand it back to you, Eric.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Awesome. Great comment. Appreciate it. Zion, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Cora, for that great question. A personal story of me embracing and helping people in the journey of positivity. It's talking about positivity. And you might be listening to the sound of my voice right now. I know you have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of things to share, but the ability for you to keep talking about it allows people to know what you are doing. You might have the greatest offer, you might have the greatest product, but without you talking about it, people don't know what you are doing. So one habit I've done in teaching people how to stay positive, it's the habit of talking about positivity. Meeting Mr. Ernie a few years ago, and I could remember vividly when he met me, I was a whole different person from who I am today. From meeting him, I started an audio event, and from an audio event, I started getting opportunity to be talking on stage, world-class stages, because why? The habit of talking about what you do. And I tell you, if you can embrace this little habit, there's going to be a great improvement in your life. So that's a personal story of mine in embracing my habit. So thank you so much. I yield the mic over to you, Eric.
Awesome. Awesome. Great story. Appreciate that. And I have one too, actually. So, one thing that I started doing that changed my life forever is I started investing in myself, right? Um, you know, I had a lot of skills in sales and everything before I came online, but I was limited because I met with the people in my hometown, right? The people that are around me, right? We call it backyard, people that are in your backyard, right? So I was limited. So I wanted to go online, but I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't know how to do videos, right? I didn't know how, how am I going to do it, right? So I bought a program from a lady on LinkedIn for $47. And in that program, she taught me how to start building an audience, how to start building an audience. Then I bought another program from her. It was, I think, $150. She taught me how to create a lead magnet, how to create an, like what Leah was talking about, right? Information where people click on it, they give you their email address. So that was like $125. And then I bought another program from her, all right, how to create a funnel. I think that was like $600, right? Now, by the way, I'm starting to make money now, right? So I'm using the money I'm making to invest, right? Then I bought another program from her for over 1,000, and it just went on and on. Yeah, I bought a lot of stuff from her, but then she led me to somebody else. Then I bought a program on doing videos from a guy named Mark Harbor, on doing videos online. Okay, and I don't know how much I spent with him, maybe 1,000 or something. And then I started doing videos. And then I took that money and I invested in a coach that taught me how to put together events online. Okay. A coach. She's from where's she? Ireland. And I believe her name was. Anyway, I got in her coaching and I learned how to do events. Right. So then from the events, I started making money. Then I hired a coach to teach me how to create a course. Okay. I paid him 15,000, him and his wife, 15,000. And I made way more than that in the second month. Then I hired someone to teach me how to do studio events. You guys have made it see my studio events. Paid her even more, right? But here's my point. If I never invested the 47 to start, I would have never seen the value of investing in myself, right? All the money I spent, by the way, I paid someone to teach me how to write a book, right? All the money I spent investing in myself, I've made it in a month before. In 1 month, in 30 days. So that just goes to show you that it works. You have to invest in yourself. And one thing Annie said too, you take things seriously when you pay money. You pay attention. Trust me, when I paid 15 grand, I was the first person on that call every week. I'm getting my money's worth. Okay. I'm doing the homework. Okay. So to answer your question, that changed my life. Investing. And another thing, if you have a coaching program, for some of you out here, and I know you do, you won't charge what you deserve unless you already pay somebody else for a service. If you want to charge three grand and you've never paid 500, it's going to be hard for you to do that because you won't even see people buying it from you. Right? Who's going to spend 3,000 with me? Because you haven't spent 500, right? So you got to invest in yourself, right? You got to invest in yourself to be able to provide an offer where people are investing in you and investing in what you have. All right. So that's what I want to share there. All right. Yes. Thanks, Latoya. That's right. Yeah, if you pay attention. That's right. All right, so let's see. Next question. And I want more people to ask questions, please. More people. I know Cole is doing a great job here. Okay, here we go. Coral says, what advice would you give to someone who struggles with consistency in their habits? What advice would you give someone who struggles with consistency in their habits? That's a great question. Mm-mm-mm. All right, who would like to address that question? Aaliyah, go ahead.
Yeah, I love this question because I really believe that the devil's in the details. It really is about those little habits that we think are so insignificant. It's Kaizen, it's those small habits that over time have tremendous impact. So, what I've done for me is I learned this from Dr. Hardy. He says get a white paper calendar and you just mark a red X. So let's say, for example, you want to meditate every day, you want to pray every day. Then every day you do that, you just make a red X. It's not about trying to do it for a month. You just keep connecting the red X. And then also, you have to celebrate your wins. If you do it for a week, give yourself a little celebration. It doesn't mean you go out and spend thousands of dollars, but maybe you take a walk. Maybe you give yourself some extra time playing with your kids, or maybe there's a little treat that you give yourself. So hopefully that'll help. Hand it back to you, Eric.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Go ahead, Annie, and then Zan.
They say it takes 21 days of doing the same thing to make it a habit, right? Sometimes it can take longer. But essentially, I think you have to start by looking at what it is you're trying to do and why. Like I say, if you don't believe in what you're trying to do, we don't keep to it. That's when we don't keep to it. This is the point of our conversation today, my friends. That habits are ingrained in us. They're built into our soul, into our consciousness. When we understand that, then we truly understand what it takes to form a new habit and to leave the old one behind. Like I say, my thing, as I mentioned earlier, time. I don't like being on time. I never have done. I'm just childish. I'm stupid. I know that, but I just refuse to learn how to be on time. I could just leave earlier, right, Zion? But I don't. I think I tell myself I have to drive 10 miles. It takes me 10 minutes because we drive fast around here. Then I find that when I get out, there's traffic, right? And it's like, I'm now an hour late. But that's just me being childish. I'm saying now deep down, I've had to look at myself and say, time is important. Time is respecting your time, other people's time. So I must do better. I can't, and in business, you can't do some things right and some things wrong. It's just, I've had to truly had to look at myself deep down and say, right, I must reframe how I see this whole situation. That's why I can get somewhere on time today. That's how you change your small habits to actually get to where you want to get to. But if you need to change it, be honest with yourself. Look at your reason why and change it. If you don't want to change it, it's not going to change. That's the truth for
Awesome.
you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Annie. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Zion, go ahead.
All right. When we talk about habits, most of the time we see that is a personal thing. Yes, habit is personal, but involve other people as well. Involve other persons. That's the reason for accountability partners. People who can, call you, people who can advise you, who can encourage you, who can give you a positive feedback. It's your habit, but involve other persons too that you can be accountable to when it comes to your habit. Because why? I love it. Leah talks about celebrating your wins. It's good to celebrate alone, but when you celebrate your progress in your habit with other people, it hits differently. It hits differently. So have an accountability partner and then celebrate the progress of your habits with your accountability partner. Thank you. That's my take on that.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. We have another question from Latoya. Which habit have you tried that just did not work for you? And how do you pivot that habit? That's good. I love it. I love it. Anybody want to address that? Okay, go ahead. Now we have like 12 minutes, so let's all be short so we can
Yeah.
get a lot in. Go ahead.
I keep I keep this one short. I got many bad habits, Latoya, many, right? And I said the one that I can't deal with is going to sleep. I've never slept 8 hours. I can't mentally get around my head around sleeping 8 hours, right? So that's why I tend to look like I'm working around the clock. My coach tells me, everyone tells me, and you go to sleep, stop working now. But I've learned to sleep 6 hours. Actually, set aside 6 hours. Now, between 4 o'clock and 12 o'clock in the afternoon. This is when no one sees me anywhere, right? This is why when our times move, Eric, you don't see me at 11 o'clock because I refuse. It doesn't fit with my schedule, right? I say now, literally, I've made what works for me and gives me peace of mind. That's the only way we can get around it, Latoya.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Leah, did you put your hand up?
I was going to say what Annie said, sleep for me. I always say sleep is for the weak. I see Annie up at 2 o'clock, we're like messaging and we're across the world. And do you ever sleep? No. Do you ever sleep? No, I don't sleep either. Sleep for me is definitely one of those habits. People tell me all the time, you have to sleep 8 to 9 hours. I can't even imagine sleeping 8 hours a night. Like, I don't think I've ever slept 8 hours unless I was not feeling well. But it's really knowing yourself, right? And so how do I pivot that? Well, I make sure that when I go to sleep that I get good restful sleep, um, because that's the only way to have that longevity. And the other thing that I would say to that is, if you have a habit that you're resisting, that you think that you need to implement, any Zion said it earlier, create that accountability with that group. I actually really had a goal to get up earlier. Okay, my habit was 12 to 6. That's been my sleep routine for a long time. Well, now I'm up at 2:30 in the morning. Okay, so be careful what you wish for. If you have that accountability, that's why I'm here early in the morning, because I made a commitment to Eric and all the other world-class speakers, and I made a commitment to you to be here. Back to you, Eric.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I have one that I want to share. Oh, by the way, Latoya, congratulations on putting it in the chat that you're going to start doing videos on June 1st. So you have just put it out there for the world, and we're looking forward to it. We are looking forward to it. That is the best way to do it. That's the best accountability in the world, to tell people what you're going to do. You know what I mean? Because now you have to do it. And it's good. It's good for you, because if you don't tell anybody, you can check it out easily, right? So good for you. Good for you. And we are here to help you. All right. So don't be afraid to change your habit, right? I started a podcast like this, and it was daily. It was Monday through Friday. Leah, you remember, right? It was Monday through Friday, every morning, right? But it wasn't working out for me. It wasn't working out for me. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to do this daily thing anymore. I'll just stick with Mondays. And I went back to Mondays. Now, most people don't know that I had a daily podcast, right? So it doesn't matter if you do something that doesn't work. Just do something else. It doesn't matter. People don't know, right? When I wrote my book, and you can relate to this, I had a date that I was going to be done and put it out there. And it took me another 6 months. Nobody knows. They just knew when it came out, right? So don't be afraid. You can change. You can change. You can change your mind. Like, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter, right? Just pivot, like you said. Just pivot if you have to. It's okay. At least you're moving forward, right? We call it failing forward, right? You're moving forward. So that's a great question. So we're about to end. So I want everybody here to share with the group, with everybody, how they can reach you. So for those of you that are interested in taking your sales to a whole new level, okay, and you want to stop giving yourself the excuse that, well, my product sells itself, but you're not actually making any money, then it's not selling itself, right? For those of you that say, well, I wasn't born a salesman, so I can't sell. Stop lying to yourself. Anybody can sell, right? Anybody can. It's a learned skill, right? For those of you that are just tired of when you hear someone say, I have to think about it, or I have to talk to my spouse, or it's too expensive, you just crumble. It's over. Right, it's over. But for those of you that want to be able to close a sale without being pushy or salesy, I just put in the comment, compassionatecloser.com. 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 Click on that. You'll get my free ebook on becoming more persuasive. And then if you want to join my coaching class, it starts very shortly. 50% off right now. I have a Memorial Day special. 50% off of my coaching. I've never done that before, ever, right? So jump on that, book a call, and we'll talk, right? And then for those of you that are interested in my studio rooms, okay, you want to be able to speak on stage, in studio, to get to the masses, to add to your credibility, and so more people know you, then go to studiospeaking.com, click on that, learn more about what I do. There are 20 different benefits of speaking on stage. All right, so that's what I want to share. So now let's go out to Leah and Annie. If you can let us know how to reach you, how we can get your ebook or get into your class or whatever it is, before we wrap up. Go ahead. Leah.
Yeah, absolutely. So my best social media is LinkedIn, but I'm all over YouTube, Facebook. I have the Money Minute also, the Wall of Wealth on YouTube. And, a lot of people say that money's not important. But, I see it's right up there with oxygen. It impacts every area of our life. And my vision, my mission is to help you properly protect, distribute, and transfer that wealth so that you can build that legacy and create generational and multi-generational wealth for your family. Because it doesn't happen by accident, it happens by design. And I would just say, in closing, the average family doesn't have a plan. Understand this, folks. The rich and wealthy plan for many generations when the average family plans for Saturday night. Reach out to me for my free ebook, The Wall of Wealth. It will help you to eliminate and mitigate those booby traps down the road. Because it's not how much money we make, it's how much money we keep that matters most. Back to you, Eric.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I learned so much listening to you. Some of the things you say I know, but it reinforces it, right? And then some is new stuff. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that, right? That's the power of being around these world-class speakers, right? And let me just say real quick, if you're on this line and you say to yourself, oh, you know what she says makes sense. I need to learn about that. One day I'll reach out to her. Stop. Reach out to her today, because the world does not help people that think of one day. One day never shows up. It's today that can change your life. It's not one day. All right. Okay. My good friend Annie, go ahead.
So I'm doing many things, and I don't normally share all of them. Let me share a couple, my friends. So our book, Lessons Learned from COVID, is coming out soon. So do connect with me on LinkedIn. That way I can keep you informed. And those who are connected with me, please send me your email so I can add it to my mailing list. I'd love to let you know about the launch, the progress, and any other goodies that we have going. So the other thing that's really important to me at the moment, I'm working with Dr. Constance Leyland on her 50 inspirational connections on LinkedIn program. So essentially, we're going to start. So we're going to choose 50 people and showcase them and give them more visibility through live streams, audio events, and video, and the other media channels that Dr. Constance sort of manages and runs. If any of that appeals to you, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to meet all of you. I'd love to let's find out what you do, right? So now do connect with me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And now we have a lot of new people that have joined. Welcome, Kendrick, Christina, and all the other people that have joined. And if you're on Instagram, like I said, I can't see your name, so forgive me. But I appreciate you. We appreciate you. We are here every Monday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time, to bring value to you. We're here on Memorial Day. We were here last Christmas. We were here last New Year Day. We're serious. We're serious about providing you value, and we hope that you'll keep coming back. All right. So with that, we have about 2 minutes, but I know people have to go to work. People have to go to school. People have to take their kids to school. People have all kinds of things to do. So we like to finish on time. So again, reach out to anybody and any of us that that resonates with you. Keep on coming back. Share this link with other people. Okay, it's recorded, right? Share the YouTube link. Share the LinkedIn. I mean, we're recorded, so you can share it with more people. All right. So it has been a plum-pleasing pleasure to be here with you this morning, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.